What is the exact step-by-step strategic process to make more than you do at a corporate job while only having to work 10 to 15 hours a week? I'm going to give that to you in this video. And this is not just going to be another one of those videos with mindset and what you got to do between your brain to get started. There's a podcast that I have that's going live on Tuesday that's actually going to cover the mindset piece that goes along with what I'm going to talk about here today. But for those of you that have not met me yet, my name is Jeremiah Kurkowski, and I have been in the coaching, mentoring industry for the last 21 years, have built multiple companies over $10 million a year, and I help people that are getting started, a lot of them, how to leave their corporate job to sell online courses, build memberships, and have consistent revenue between $5,000 and $25,000 per month. That's about where a lot of our clients fall into as far as the results very quickly after working with us, but then a lot of them also go beyond and even make multiple six figures and even seven figures. In my own business, I've made $250,000 a year for over the last 10 years. And my business is now a seven-figure company. And so I want to share with you what I had to do when I left working corporate, as well as what the strategy is that got me to six figures and then seven figures. This might not apply to everybody, but I think if I share some of my story with you, I think it's going to really help. So what did I do when I stopped working for other companies? Well, I went out there and I actually started working for other companies. Let me explain this. Is I took my skill set from my corporate job, and what I did was, instead of clocking in 30 to 40 hours a week, most of the time I only ever really clocked in at 30 hours a week. I was on salary, and I negotiated where I didn't have to be on call for more than 25 to 30 hours a week. So already I've had time freedom for over a decade, even when I was working at companies, the companies that we were building that were making over $10 million a year that I was CEO of. Okay. So what I want to share with you, though, is prior to that, what was I doing before I was a CEO of a $10 million a year profit company? I was doing video editing. I was doing marketing, funnels, lead gen, all the stuff that I coach and mentor a lot of people on. I was building actively for the companies that I worked for, and they were making a considerable amount of profit off of this. What I did was I observed, what are the skill sets that I don't have today that the CEOs of these companies have? And this is something that I did from day one when I started working at a job. My first job officially, well, I was working for my mom's business years ago. She had an e-commerce company. That was kind of in our basement type of a thing. She was making millions in our basement, which was amazing. But I was basically doing the shipping and packing. But outside of that, I actually went and worked with a company. Their name was DannyJohnson.com. They're still in business to this day. And I helped them do a lot of their video editing, as well as then transitioned into marketing. There was a conversation that I had, I remember this, where they were like in talks with, hey, we might need to have a different CEO of the company. You might be in a position where you could rise up into that. And I was like, whoa, that's amazing. But then I also kind of didn't want to do that because I kind of wanted to start my own thing. And I kind of wanted to go off into a different direction, which now looking back, I see that, but I didn't recognize it back then. So what I always did was I observed, what are the CEOs of the companies that I'm working for or that I know doing, and what skills do they have that I don't possess today? So there's always going to be a skills gap, okay? And you could literally know everything. I knew everything of what it takes to build a $20 million a year company. One of the companies I built was $20 million a year. And I knew exactly what it takes to get there. But when it goes to doing it in my own business, and there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know how to do that I have had to learn, that you just until you're in the weeds of founding a company, you don't know it. And I used to get angry when people would say this. Gary Vaynerchuk used to say this all the time. He's like, listen, there's a difference between, being an employee that grows a company inside of a company, but you don't have any risk. So I knew how to grow companies without taking risk. But when it actually came to taking risk on my own, was very risk averse. Struggled to do that. And because of my risk averseness, because safety and security was such an important thing to me, I always had ended up working for other people or making way less than my potential as far as that goes. Until the last year or so, I made a multi six-figure income, and then we catapulted to seven figures when I realized what I didn't know, gained the skills, and finally started applying what I had learned over the last 21 years. Now, can I tell you today, like, oh, do this and you'll be a millionaire? Probably could walk you through that process if I was coaching you over the course of a year or two. But I'm more suited for, like, how do you go from zero to making that first $250,000? Does that make sense? So that's where I'm really hyper qualified. I could roll out of bed, tell you everything that it takes to get to that level. And that's really what my niche is as far as that goes. A lot of people say, well, how do you find your niche? Well, you got to figure out, what are you super good at that you could roll out of bed that's actually kind of boring to you to talk about. I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's kind of boring for me to talk about this stuff. I know it so well. It's like, it's so inside of me that I don't have to think when I'm teaching it. And yet the quality is at a mastery level when I'm sharing it. Does that make sense? So when it comes to what you're going to do to actually build your business, you really want to start establishing mastery level skill sets. And I can guarantee you, if you are over the age of 30, right now watching this, if you're under the age of 30, you can totally do this as well. But a lot of people that I work with are over the age of 30. I guarantee you, if you're over the age of 30, that you got something that you have mastered over the last 10, 15 years, since you were 15 years old, that you know how to do better than 99% of anybody that you meet, okay? You can build a business around that, because then all you got to do is you just got to go find the other 99% of people and sell them the thing that you know how to do, whether it be information or a service. And so those are really the two best ways to start when it comes to building a business when you're leaving a corporate job. Is you pick one of these two lanes. You either do a service, okay, or you can do info/consulting. And I'll tell you this, you can make way more money over here than over here, okay? But initially, you may have to actually do this. And this is kind of a springboard to get you over here. And what this is this is where you're working in your business. This is where you're working on your business. Today, I'm at this stage where I get paid to talk. I get paid to open my mouth. I get paid for my ideas. I had great ideas, by the way, 15 years ago. They were incredible. My ideas today are refined, but the core of them are pretty much the same as what they have been for the last 15 years, but they've gotten better. They have improved. I've gotten better at explaining them to people as well, which is why now I can get paid more, because it takes me less time to explain this stuff to people. Okay? When it comes to service-based stuff, this is you doing the work for people. Okay? And there really is a gap right here between service-based and information as far as this goes. So I help a lot of people generally go from doing a service to monetizing their knowledge, information, and skill set, so where they're not doing services, they're not actively necessarily doing the work for people, but they're able to get paid for their information. And that is a very unique skill set to do, especially to sell to people that you're going to give them information versus do it for them. It's 10 times easier to sell somebody on a service than it is on how to do the service themselves, or how to hire a team to do the service themselves. Okay, so you got to understand that aspect of it. Either of these is a great place to start when it comes to leaving a corporate job. So for me, I actually went the services route. I ran ads for people. I created their landing pages. I created their marketing. And I didn't charge very much money for this. My goal was, how do I get my income up to $250,000 a year as quick as possible? Because that's what I was making working for others in one job. So what I did was I got 8 clients, all at different levels. One client was at $2,000 a month. Another client was at $5,500 a month. Another one was at $8,000 a month. One was at $1,000 a month. And then I think I had 2 more that were at like 1,000 as well. So and so these were like bare bones level. I'm just gonna run your ads right here. They didn't have a big budget. I went above and beyond for them though, and I realized that running ads for people was something that I don't want to do because it's so time consuming to actually get it to work. You have to do way more than just run the ads. And because of my own integrity of needing things to actually produce results when I sell them to people and making sure that when people buy something from me, they actually get what they pay for, I was literally giving a $5,500 a month level service to people that were only paying me $1,000 a month. But overall, we were making a good, decent $250,000 income off of this. I know it's only 6, but I had alternated a few of them as far as that goes. I know I had 8 clients that I had kind of rotated during a couple of years. After I left working for somebody else, I just ended up splitting my time into this. Here's the problem, though. You want to know how many hours I was working doing that? About 110 hours a week. Okay. So I was working 35 hours a week, maybe 30 hours a week, 25 to 30 hours a week at a job making $250,000. Running my own business, I was working 110. Because what I did was I pretty much was literally still doing exactly the same processes that I was at my job, but doing this. That wasn't sustainable. Luckily, I didn't have kids. I was newly married. And, quite frankly, that worked out well for my wife and I. It worked out well for us to kind of have that sort of separation as far as that goes, where I was working from home, which was kind of cool. But I was so just focused on our work, and she just kind of had her own life. And that was our first couple of years of marriage, was that. And it worked for us. But then when we decided, hey, I want to start a family, and now we have kids, we have a second one on the way, that doesn't work. Does that make sense? So I have had to transition completely away from doing services entirely to where now I work 10 to 20 hours a week. Some weeks I work 20 hours a week. But 10 to 15 hours, 20 hours a week doing information, consulting, coaching, speaking, looking over somebody's business, giving assessment, giving analysis on how to do that, okay? So what you got to look at is what are the skill sets that you have? How can you help people? What do you know how to do better than most people? And then you got to figure out how to monetize that. And it starts by creating what is called an offer, okay? So an offer, what is an offer? An offer is, I'm going to offer you to do this service for you. I'm going to offer you to build your landing page, run ads, and get people to register for your live event. I'm going to create an offer where I'm going to build your website for you. I'm going to run ads with you. I'm going to consult with your team, and we're going to get enrollments into your university. By the way, this is exactly what I did. And we helped like 2 to 3x almost all of our clients. One of our clients right here, this one that was $8,000 a month, was really cool. That was Rick Pino. We helped him go from 0 to making $1 million a month with his worship coach platform. And you can literally see it over here if you go to worshipcoach.com. We helped him build all of this out, all the marketing. This is all stuff that I had built out with him and for him during this time. And we built this business to over $1 million a month, mentoring people and like rave client reviews. They're just like, this is the best stuff on the planet. People love it. People loved it. It was incredible. Okay. But I did that with a number of different people, but I had to transition away from doing services in order to reduce my working hours so that I could work that 10 to 20 hours a week. So what does that actually look like? Well, again, I talked about this in my previous video the other week about how I only work 10 to 15 hours a week. Boundaries is important. You got to have boundaries. You got to be willing to say no and walk away from even good ideas that can pay you money simply because you're setting standards for what you're willing to do. And you're going to literally have to transform into somebody who says, that's what I do now. I work 10 to 15 hours a week. And that's what people pay me for. And you have to have an offer that is irresistible that people sign up for, that they pay you for. And so what you have to learn how to do is you have to learn the skill set of, in all of this, the skill set of number one, finding people who have problems. Okay? Finding people who are struggling with something that you can do a service for of some kind. Whether it be dog walking, whether it be hair care, whether it be cooking, whether it be gardening, whether it be glass blowing. And you can find the people that they want to learn this, or they're looking for the thing that you are offering. So you have to be able to find those people, and you want them to be able to find you. You want to create a synergistic connection where y'all connect as far as that goes. Then what you have to do is you have to actually present those people with an offer. And this is where 95% of people fail, right here. They don't know how to present an offer in a way that gets people to buy it. They say, okay, here's what I offer, and 9 times out of 10, not actually 99 times out of 100, the person says no because the presentation was off. And the presentation has nothing to do with necessarily how it looks or how everything is put together or all of that, or even product quality as far as that goes. I'll tell you that. Product quality is important. What you offer is important. What you say is important. But this is about the initial, once they find you, how do you bridge the connection to the fact that if they pay you money, they are going to get a result, okay? And then number 3, you have to close the sale, okay? So learning how to close sales is the skill set that you have to learn. This is what I mentor people on right here, is these 3 steps. This is exactly what I work with people inside of my business every single week in my Client Growth Accelerator program, my coaching program, which you cannot enroll in right now. There is a waiting list for it. This is the only program we have. We don't have other courses or things like that. Sometimes we have live events that you might see us advertise or market on my social media. Make sure to go follow my social media. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, okay? To get updates for when we open the doors to the accelerator. Get on my email list, on my newsletter. You can literally go here, go grab the waiting list, jump on that waiting list, and you will get updated when we open an enrollment period for this. And what we do is we work with you through how to actually do these 3 steps. I come alongside you and walk you through that, okay? Now back to what we're talking about here, though. I'm going to break down for you how to actually do these 3 steps right now by the end of this video. And so listen, those of you that are still watching, you are about to get a gold mine right now. Something that is like, I want you to take notes, lean forward. If you don't have time to pay attention to what I'm about to talk about, I want you to save this video, come back to it, and many of you, you're going to write down this point in time, about 18 minutes into the video, where you are going to bookmark that and you're going to watch back through this, because this is going to be your strategic process that you're going to do. And many of you, I truly believe, after watching this video, you are going to work with me and our community to implement this as well inside of my accelerator program and join a lot of our different events, as well as watching the other videos that we have. If you have any questions about any other topics that you'd love to see me share, if you want me to make other videos for stuff, leave it in the comments below. Let me know as stuff and ideas start to come up. Just write a little comment below this video about what you would like me to share, okay? So step number 1, how do we go about finding these people, okay? You need to have a traffic source, okay? So again, what is traffic? Well, let's think about this. If you're in traffic, driving in traffic, there are cars that are driving, and hopefully maybe you're in one of these, Corvette, right? That'd be nice. You're in traffic because there are people, there are other human beings that are going from one destination to another. And so what you have to do is you have to take people that are on platforms like Instagram, like YouTube, like Facebook, as well as other social media platforms, and move them over to your email list and optionally a text message SMS list, okay? So you want to move people from these platforms over to an email list to find out how to contact them. What is their contact information? How do you text them as far as this goes? And why would they give you this information? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to actually bribe them for it, okay? So you bribe people ethically to give you that information by creating something of value that solves that problem that they have, that you can do better than anybody else. And so this is where we create an offer, and it becomes an offer, and there are many different stages of offers. There can be an offer that is just for exchange of an email address and text message. And what it is that you still nowadays, because of AI, and by the way, AI is incredible. I love it. I use it all the time. Highly recommend it for brainstorming and even learning information, processing information, helps you with your marketing. They just made GPT-4 available for free now. That's incredible. Over at ChatGPT. The highest quality AI on the planet is now available for free to everybody. And that's huge. Okay? I'm all about it. I'm all for AI. I'll teach you how to use that. We teach our students how to use AI in a powerful way. Not in a way that gives up their voice, not in a way that replaces them, but in a way that actually amplifies and increases their own mindset, their own thoughts, and their own ideas, so that you are actually fully generating original thoughts and ideas, but you're using the AI to help you refine it and come up with those ideas as far as that goes. And if you follow that process, you will actually start thinking better, talking better, communicating better by learning how to do this type of stuff. So your goal is traffic source. There are people that will buy your service or your consulting or coaching or a membership with you or a course that exists on these different social media platforms. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to get those people to give you their contact information in exchange for something of value that solves an immediate need or problem that they have. Now, how do you figure out what those immediate needs or problems are that people have? You need to read their mind, essentially. Not like in a weird, psychic kind of way, but you actually can do so by looking at their behavioral patterns. You can also do so by looking at who else is selling similar products to the people in your industry that you work with. And then there's another book that I love. It's called The Ultimate Sales Letter right here by Dan Kennedy. And if you can understand this about your target customer, what keeps them awake at night? What are they afraid of? What are they angry about? What are their top 3 daily frustrations? What trends are occurring in their life, in their business? What do they secretly desire more than anything else? Is there any built-in bias in the way they make decisions? Do they have their own language? Are there similar products that are out there? And who else has tried selling to them and failed? And when you understand this, you can learn how to create offers that persuade them to give you their contact information. Now, the goal is not simply getting the contact information from people. So that's how you find people, is you create a piece of content, whether it be a video, a short video, a long video, and you can either do it organically or you can run ads. But the goal is this, to get them on an email list, to get them visit your website, and then you can start to engage with them to present to them something. Now, one of the things that I love is this. It's a little secret hack that most people don't know about when it comes to paid advertising, is that if you can get somebody to visit a website, okay, so we have website visits or watch a video. So if they can watch a video that you've created, like this video right here, or they're watching a video that's on your social media, you can then run paid ads at a nearly 95% discount and save a ton of money by running what's called retargeting ads to people who already visited your website or watch the video. So my goal is this: if I can get somebody watching my video content consistently, if I can get somebody clicking over to my website, engaging with my social media, you can also do, yes, social media engagement. That's another one. They're literally just watching your content. They're just clicking, they're liking, they're subscribing, stuff like that. I can run ads on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn at a generally a 90 to 95% discount to these people because they engaged in some way. So my goal is this, is I want to what's called pixel. I want to pixel people and get them into a bucket that's on the platforms that says, okay, they showed some kind of an interest in the topic that I'm talking about. Show them an ad for something that's going to bribe them to give me their contact information or their email address. And what we do is we do a simultaneous bribe process where we're not only going to find them, but we're also going to present to them at the same time. And we actually end up combining step 1 and step 2, okay? So we create something that actually delivers something of value to people. And we're not only going to find them, we're also going to present to them in the same thing, okay? And what they're going to do is they're going to give us their email address / text message information. We're going to retarget maybe a small paid ad to them to find them. They might see it through content, and this becomes a loop that goes back and forth until they join us on a presentation of some kind. So a presentation, this is where you actually present the thing that you have for sale. And this is the part, again, like I said, 95% of people never do this. They do this whole thing where they'll grow their email list and they'll find people through social media. They'll create content. They'll create videos. They'll do all of this. They'll get followers, but they never make a single sale because they're unwilling to actually present in an effective way what it is that they have for sale. They're merely talking or providing information, but they're not actually selling to people. And so I didn't actually use the word sell, but really what you're doing here is you are selling. You are making a presentation that is going to get somebody to see, okay, this is for sale. There's something for you to buy here. You know, for instance, my coaching program right here, at the time of this recording, we've charged $200 a month to be a part of this, which I think is extremely valuable as far as that goes. It's extremely affordable, and the value that you get is above and beyond. People told us they've spent over 25 grand for other coaching programs that don't even scratch the surface as to what we cover here in our program right here. That's extremely affordable for people, okay? So, but what you have to do is you have to present and sell to people what you have for sale, or you're not going to make any money. Nobody's going to know about it. Expecting people, it's a romantic idea. Oh, I'm just going to expect them to go to my website and they're going to go find my stuff that I have for sale and they're going to go click and they're going to follow me and they're going to suddenly see what I have for sale. No. It's about learning how to communicate, be a powerful communicator that persuades people to take action. And when you can learn persuasion, you can learn about creating an environment that gets people to buy to where it becomes irresistible to them to purchase what you have for sale. It's a process. Just like dating. If you're going out there and dating, you're going to go find a date, right? But then you have to actually close the deal. And so the presentation might be the first or second date right here. But you're not closing the deal. They're not your boyfriend or girlfriend. You haven't proposed yet. Okay? So that's where we go into the third phase, which is the close. And this is where you follow up. This is where you have confidence and you ask for a financial exchange of some kind without being timid, without hesitating, without worrying about, are they going to reject me? Do they think that all I care about is money? I don't want to look like one of those people that all they care about is money. You got to stop thinking that way. You got to stop operating that way in your mind and realize that the only way that you will have a business is learning how to present and sell to people. Now, we might make another video where I talk about this process, but the biggest reason why most people will not present and close sales is because they're afraid of what everybody thinks about them. They're afraid of disappointing other people. They're afraid that they're not good enough. And they're processing through their mind is talking them out of doing the things that are actually effective. So you have to learn the skill as well as the knowledge, and then you have to put structure to it to be able to present, sell, and close to the people that you have found that are on your email list. And this whole process is the ecosystem that most people refer to as a sales funnel. Okay? And so that's exactly what we work with people through in my accelerator program, is how to create effective sales funnels, top to bottom. How do you go from finding them to presenting to closing? Okay? The first stage of this is learning how to write good sales copy. How to explain what you're doing well to people, as well as working on what is between your two ears that is preventing you from showing up confidently at each stage of this process. What is preventing you from having total confidence that you can help somebody and you're not afraid of what happens next? You're not holding back because you're unsure. You might say, well, Jeremiah, if I did all the right things, then I would be unsure. Can I tell you this? I meet people all the time. They're right where you are. And then they waste 5 years, 10 years talking themselves out of even setting up this process. Talking themselves out of putting themselves out there. And they got many angry reasons what they get angry about it as to why they're just not ready yet to do it. We got to upgrade ourselves. We got to go to the next level and realize that what we've been doing up to this moment in time isn't working, and that to be able to do this requires us to step into a new way of being, showing up, communicating, having boundaries, and believing in ourselves. And if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to. Okay? So when you put this together, how do you find these people? You have to have some kind of a offer. So this is your offer right here, and you need to have an offer letter. So the offer letter you show to people, and then they read your offer letter and they decide yes or no. Pretty simple. What is a yes or a no to an offer letter? A yes is they give you their email address. They sign up. They give you their contact info. They put it in their calendar to join you, to listen to you. A no is they go about their life and they go watch Netflix for the next 10 hours. Pretty simple. You can't change a no into a yes, but you want to figure out who these yeses are and find more of them. And that's where we end up tweaking the words that are written in this offer letter. And as we optimize that, which is exactly what I work with people on in the Client Growth Accelerator, is how do we optimize your offer letter to get more of the right yes people that are your true people that you want to work with, your true followers, your true fans, the ones who are completely connected with you, that will buy into whatever it is that you have to offer, and you just continue communicating with them. And you end up serving them, and you learn how to sell to them effectively in a way where you show up with total confidence, total belief in what you're doing. And you figure out, what do I got to shift in my life to make that happen? What do I got to adjust in my life? What levers do I need to start to pull to make that actually come together? You might not be there today. Most people who join my program are not there today when they start. But we can get you there, and we can work with you through that process. And we can help you so that you have clarity, so that you know exactly what steps to take, so that you know exactly how to write the right offer letters, so that you know what to put on your social media, so that you know how to communicate and sell and present in a way that actually gets people to buy instead of waste your time and their time. What are the words that you say? What are the words that you put in your emails? How do you follow up with people? What do you do if maybe things are working and then they don't after all, as far as that goes? This happens. That's what I mentor people on every single week. I'd love to help you with that as well. Okay? So what you got to learn how to do is make more offers. We got an event coming up very soon. You'll start to see it on my social media. If you don't follow me on Instagram or Facebook or all that, go look up my name on those platforms. Go follow me on there. Go literally right now. Go pull out your phone right now and go look up Jeremiah Krakowski, or you can look up Jeremy Crack. That's the name right there. Jeremy Crack on Instagram. You'll see the orange photo right there. You can follow me on Instagram right here. Okay, you can go type in my name on Facebook. You can subscribe to this channel as well. And you will see when we have an event where I'm going to work with you through coming up how to put an offer together. Okay, here's me right there as well on Facebook. This is very possible for you. And when you learn how to do this, you don't have to work 110 hours a week. I don't want you to. I don't want you to have to work 110 hours a week. I think to be able to bring in the kind of money that you want to make, you can do so while only working 10 to 15 hours a week. To make $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 a month doing this process. But it's going to take some growth. It's going to take learning some new methods, learning some new skills, learning how to do some things that maybe you've never done before. And I'm here to help you through that process. And I'd love to work with you, and I'd love to walk alongside you, come alongside you, become a part of your team to make this happen for you. All right? Listen, thanks for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to get on the waiting list for our Client Growth Accelerator program so that when we do open the doors to this, you can get on the fast track to making the kind of results that you want to make in your business so that you can finally have the income and the impact that you want to have. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski. We'll see you on the next video. Talk soon.